Hey, Squidward's back. What's up, handsome young Jack, you fellow man? Where's your mustache? There we go. Just like old times. I'm back with another breakdown for y'all today. We're breaking down the 53-man roster of the Lions. I about said Vikings. We're doing the Lions today. I had to wait because the actual roster came out, so we're doing that. Hey. Okay, let's get down to business. We're gonna start out with Jared Goff here. We all know Jared Goff, alright? He was on the Rams for a while, brought him to a Super Bowl, didn't really win it, didn't work out too good. They offloaded him to the Lions, and he's okay. He could be an alright guy. He could take your team to a Super Bowl if you have a good enough team. But you could always upgrade from this guy, and I'm sure they're looking for someone soon. But as of now, he's actually a solid starter in my eyes. Like a guy that, like, if the Rams should go to the Super Bowl with him, anybody can, and just get your team together. I don't know. Nate Sudfeld, he beat out Davis, and not Davis, my bad. He beat out David Blau, and he's only 28, so who knows what he could be. He made the backup roster, so if anything happens, Nate Sudfeld, let's go. Um, they got a great running back, DeAndre Swift. This man right here, he's pretty good. In his rookie year, which is 2020, he had 114 rushes for 521 yards and 8 touchdowns. That is pretty dang good. But on top of that greatness, he also had 46 catches for 357 yards and 2 touchdowns. Did I say catches? Yeah, 46 catches as well as 114 rushes. Who does that remind me of? Yeah, I'll let you think about that one. That guy right here, DeAndre Swift, I'm sure he's gonna be a great star. It's sad he got injured, but even though he got injured, I'm sure that's not gonna slow him down at all. Really good back right here. Jamal Williams, I really like Jamal Williams a lot. He was on the Packers for a while. Great guy, great teammate. Um, I can't wait to see this running back group run behind this offensive line. Jamal Williams, DeAndre Swift behind this line. I think it's gonna be dirty. It's gonna be good. Like even if they didn't have a good offensive line, DeAndre Swift would be able to run behind any line. Because like with the team they had last year, he's still got 151 rushes for 617 yards and 5 TDs and 62 catches. So he had more catches last year than he did in his rookie season. So he is just gonna go up and up. His production is gonna go crazy. That's gonna be awesome. Craig Reynolds right here, their third guy. He had 55 for 230 last year. That's not bad. Good third guy. I think he's kind of still competing for the third spot with Jamar, unless they like keeping four. But Jamar is their seventh round guy from 2021. Oh, he's okay. He's only had 15 carries for 74 yards, but he has 2 touchdowns, so he finds the end zone, I guess. So I don't know. I bet they'll still compete and figure stuff out. But I like this running back room. I like their offensive line a lot. You'll see when we get there, and so I think it's gonna be hopefully a run heavy team. But well, before we do that, we're gonna get to receivers. So DJ Chark, they brought over from the Jaguars. He's been pretty solid. Good fantasy guy to pick up. Um, I think he got hurt last year, so he was only in 3 games. But he still had 2 touchdowns in those 3 games. 7 for 22 yards, 2 touchdowns. So if he stays healthy, I think he'd be good. He had a 1,000 yard season. I forget what year it is. I don't know why I didn't write that one down. But he had a 1,000 yard season, and I'm sure he could get back to that if he just stays healthy, plays a full season. And with this, like, they honestly kind of got a good offense. I kind of like this offense. If they had like a really good quarterback, or like a better one, I should say. I don't know. I'm getting off track. But yeah, DJ Chark, really solid dude. Josh Reynolds, he had his best year in 2020 with the Rams. Uh, that's when he started 13 games for 52 yards and 618 or 52 catches for 618 yards. 2 touchdowns. That is not the best. But here, like, with him being the second guy, I think he's going to lose the second job to somebody. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Amon-Ra St. Brown behind him is so good. This guy's going to break out. They got Jamison Williams, but he's hurt at the moment. But when he comes back, that's DJ Chark, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams. And then I think Quintez Cephas, he got hurt as well. I think it was a broken collarbone. So if I think that's a pretty solid 4 right there. So Josh Reynolds and Khalif Raymond, they're both 2 guys that I think will have to like step up to fight. Like if I had to do my like thing, I'd keep how they are. But then when Jameson Williams back, it'd be DK or DJ, Amon-Ra, Quintez, and then you would have Jameson, obviously, and Khalif. I don't know why, but I think Josh Reynolds, maybe try to trade him. See what he could get. I don't know. That would just be me. But okay, but solid receiving core. We'll move on to tight end, though. TJ Hawkinson. This dude's a beast. Another guy, I think if they are going to pass the ball, the receivers will probably be covered up a lot. So maybe TJ will get open. But also that might end up being TJ being covered a lot. But dude, this man right here has so many targets. It's insane. So I'm sure he's going to be getting the ball a lot this year. He has to. When they run, or I mean, if they don't run, they're going to throw it to TJ. Hopefully. So that's why I drafted him in fantasy. Like, he had 101 targets in 2020 and 84 last year. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So, yeah. And behind him, they got Brock Wright. He was okay in 2021. He's only in 10 games. He had 12 417 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's not bad. He did pick up 6 first downs, though. That's not bad at all. He's, like, not really a blocker either. He was rated a 69.6 run block by Pro Football Focus and only 37.6 on his pass block. So I don't think he's considered a blocker. So maybe you got a double catching tight end set there. So that's pretty good. Shane behind him, we haven't really seen him block or really do anything. He was a converted wide receiver to tight end. I'm pretty sure he's a wide receiver, but he's a converted tight end. James Mitchell is their 5th round pick. Hopefully he could see the field, maybe earn the backup spot behind TJ, but you never really know. But it'll be cool. And then, yeah, we're going to go to this awesome offensive line. They actually really did a good job here, in my opinion. Taylor Decker is the start. He's an awesome guy. He started in 2016. At least I think so. Oh, yeah. 2016. I thought I read that wrong for a second. But yeah, no, he was great immediately. He only allowed 5 sacks on 1,037 snaps. You play 1,037 snaps, and 5 times your guy sacks the quarterback. That's pretty freaking good. In 2020, he only allowed 2 on 1,048. So more snaps he allowed less sacks. Wow. I like this dude. This dude's good. He does get penalties, but who doesn't? Next to him, Jonah Jackson. Another guy I like. He's a 3rd round guy from 2020. He freaking balls out. He only allowed 5 sacks on 1,006 snaps. I think if you play 1,000 snaps and get less than double-digit sacks, that's pretty good. And 5 is like the most I'd want to see. If I see like 6 or 7, I'd be like, ooh, we kind of got to watch this guy. But 5, it's like, all right. If you don't go more than 5 next year, you know, that's like the threshold. I don't know. And then like he is also, I think, just going to get better and better. So that's 2 really good linemen right there. Frank Ragnow, he's a beast. He didn't allow a single sack in 2020. 929 snaps, 0 sacks. This dude is a beast. He did get hurt last year, but he also didn't allow a sack last year. So if you take the 929 snaps from 2020 and the other snaps, which were 223, If you add those together, you get 1,152 yards. So this man right here has not allowed a sack in 1,152 yards. Also, they're all good run blockers. I forgot to say that. They're all pretty decent run blockers, I think, in my opinion. And so, you got that, not giving them sacks, decent run blockers, good pass blockers, great line. I think they're building something great with this line right here. And nobody's even like paying attention. Penny, Sewell. This guy is also living up to expectations. This is another guy who is freaking wild out. The only guy who's like replaceable on this starting lineup is, I can't say that, Halepola. I'm not good at pronouncing names. Hang on. Okay. Halapulavati is the only guy I think is probably replaceable here. Like, he's decent, but if you're gonna replace anybody, it'd probably be this guy, just because I don't think he has like the experience. Like these Taylor, Panay, Frank, that's really good. Jonah maybe, but I don't know. This is just a good line. I wouldn't replace any of them, honestly. But the backups, like, as hype as I am on the starters, the backups, I'm not as hype on. They're actually all just kind of okay, you know. They could use some better backups, but who needs really good backups when you got really good starters? No, I'm just kidding. That's a bad way to look at it. You always need good backups. So I don't know. Maybe they'll prove me wrong, and they could turn out to be really good backups. But I think they're fine. They'll be fine. Now moving on to the defense. Boy. And the name is going to be Aiden Hutchinson. The name of the defense is Aiden Hutchinson. He's considered the best rated edge in the draft. Many people thought he'd go number 1 overall, but the Jaguars took Trayvon Walker instead, so he fell to the Lions. And so far, he's been pretty dang good in his preseason, so that's kind of scary. This team's moving in the right direction, and that was a really great draft pick. It's kind of going to be crazy to see how Trayvon Walker and Aiden Hutchinson, like their careers side by side type stuff. I don't know. But then they got Michael Brockers as well, more known to be on the Rams. He was there for a while. He's pretty solid. Like, I don't know. I like him. He's a really good player, but he's 31 now. I don't know how many more seasons he'll be playing for a D tackle, but I don't know. He's still really good. He's still a really good player. Aleem McNeil, I think, he was a 3rd round guy. He's pretty much still developing. Charles Harris, I like him. He's a pretty good like player, but I would use him more as like a backup. Maybe starting like a couple games if needed, but I don't know if I'd want Charles Harris as a full starter. I like him, but I don't know. You could always upgrade, in my opinion. Alright, now we're on the backups, which starting out with Julian Okwara. He was a 3rd rounder in 2020. He's still developing, pretty much. Levi Onwuzurike. He's a 2nd rounder in 2021. He's still developing, but you still haven't really heard much for him being a 2nd rounder. At least I haven't. But I don't know. Hopefully he could be something. Isaiah Buggs. He's a 6th round drafted. Or he's a 6th. Excuse me. A little tongue twisted. He was a 6th round guy drafted by the Steelers. He hasn't done that much, but I don't know. It's cool to see him make the roster, even as a backup. Austin Bryant. This dude's a 4th round guy from 2019 who also hasn't done much. So they got really solid starters here, but not that great backups, in my humble opinion, as I said a few times. But Demetrius Taylor right here, this guy's interesting. He's an undrafted free agent this year. He actually made the roster. That's always cool to see UDFAs make rosters. So, rookie free agent. I don't think I said that. So that's going to be cool to see him. This guy next to him, John, I don't know if he's all that good. He hasn't impressed me with much, so I don't know if I'd have him on my roster. Like, no disrespect to the person, just the performance, the production. If I was a head coach, I'd look to move on. I don't want to label him bust, but sometimes I don't know. Chris Bird right here, he's drafted in 2018 by the Ravens. He never really played all that much or all that great. But I'm sure since he won the starting job here, he's got to be like pretty good or like at least better than Alex. And I used to think Alex right here, Anzalone or Lone, I used to think he was actually really good on 2018 when he's on the Saints. I thought he was actually a really good backer. And then when he came over here, he kind of dipped and played a little bit. And so, I don't know, if Chris Board could beat out Alex for the starting part, then that's cool to see. I don't know. And then Josh Woods, he was drafted in 2018. He hasn't done really anything until 2021. So, you don't really know much about this guy. Derek Barnes, he's a 4th round guy from 2021. Maybe he could be a starter. He might need more time. They do have a lot of young guys here, so they all might just need a little more time as well. Speaking of young guys, Malcolm, this dude's a 6th round pick of this year's draft, so it's cool to see a 6th round guy make it. This guy, Amani Oruware. Hang on. Okay, so Amani Oruware, I'm pretty sure how you say it. I'm so sorry. He's okay. He did allow 41 catches on 69 targets last year, though. So, gotta work on that. But, I mean, if you're on a bad team, it's gonna happen. So, I mean, can't really blame everybody for that. He did have 6 interceptions, so you gotta look at the bright side. That's pretty good. 51 solo tackles. I don't know. I like him. I like him as a player. Jeff Okudah, I guess you could say he hasn't really lived up to the hype, but he hasn't really, he got hurt in one season, and then I think he got benched or something, and then he had a bad coaching staff, and then a bad team. So hopefully this year, Jeff Okudah could be something great. I think he could actually start to live up to expectations and do good. I don't know. I think he just has it. Hopefully. So they do have Mike Hughes as well. He is another guy who allowed a pretty good amount of catches. It was 40 on 65 targets. That's not good. But I mean, I don't know. I think you got 2 solid starters here. If this defense could be better than last year, this is 2 solid starters. Mike Hughes, I'd like to upgrade, but I don't know. Will Ayers, he was kind of bad last year, so I see why he's kind of a backup. He had 48 catches allowed out of 65 attempts, so a lot of these guys just allowed a lot of passes. And, I mean, it happens, but sucks. Bobby Price, this dude is still developing. Chase Lucas, he's our 7th round pick from 2020, kind of still just developing. And, I guess that's all for the corners. It's kind of a weak cornerback group. Honestly, they could use a good corner. A lot of teams could use a good corner, but they could use a good corner, or at least one of these guys to really step up. That'd be awesome. But now we're going to move on to safeties. Tracy Walker, he's pretty solid. I do like him. He's another guy who did allow 36 catches on 49 attempts, though. But I think he plays hard. I think he's good. I like him. They do got Deshaun Elliott from the Ravens. He was a 6th round pick. It's kind of cool to see him still in the league doing good. But I don't know if I'd like to have him as a starter. I'd like to have him as a backup. If he was my backup, I'd be all for it. But I'd like to upgrade safety too. Kirby Joseph, he pretty much, he's a 3rd round draft pick in 2022. So hopefully he could be good. I like his odds on getting on the field. In this group, Juju right here, he allowed 5 catches on 5 targets. So every pass I got thrown his way was caught by the receiver. So that's not good. He is still young. He could improve that stat line, but man, does that suck. I feel bad. Fedu Melfanu, this guy, he was their 2021 3rd round pick, and he's probably still developing, I'm pretty sure. He could hopefully be something good. Austin Seibert, he was okay last year, 10 for 12 on field goals. Pretty solid on extra points. He's been on the Browns, been on the Bengals. I guess drafted by the Bengals, but now he's here. Their punter, Jack Fox, he could boot it about 70 yards for you, and he could get inside the 20 a decent amount of times. Pretty good. So he's pretty solid. Scott Daly here, he's a pretty solid one. He's drafted in 2017 by the Cowboys. He's here now. And we'll see how snaps turn out when we see, you know, pretty sure how special teams go. Sometimes you got to look at that long snapper. So we'll see how it goes. And so in conclusion, though, this Lions team, has a pretty good offense. Honestly, I kind of like their whole offense. If they just had like a better quarterback, I could see this offense going really far. Because they have a great head coach. Maybe this head coach could take Jared Goff to the Super Bowl with the team they're building, just like the Rams did. Maybe Dan Campbell could do the same thing. I believe in him. I think also, if not, maybe not this year, but in a year, 2, 3, I bet the Lions could be a dangerous team. So look out for that. And yeah, hope you all enjoyed the breakdown, and get ready for some football, and peace. I just realized I misworded what I said. I meant to say I'm ready for football. I hope y'all are ready for football, and peace.